Back in episode 55, I found out that one of my skeptic friends had a peculiar experience with a Reiki healer. In the hopes of getting a second perspective on what happened, I got in touch with the Reiki healer in question. In this episode, we have Mon, a Reiki Master, who tells us stories of how he developed his gifts, how fear really is the mind killer, and the playful guardians near portals on a mountain bike trail. Enjoy. So for tonight, we have you could say this is a sequel episode, or sabi mong part 2, because
Right.
we came out with an episode with my friend who went to you pala.
Yes.
For ano. So, syempre may holes sa story niya kasi she could only remember certain parts. I'm not sure rin. Sa dami rin naman ng nare-Reiki heal mo. She just mentioned na there was a spirit that was attached to her, that was attracted to her, I guess, to her emotions during that time.
Right.
May naalala ka pa ba dun sa case na yun? Sa case na yun?
Honestly,
yeah.
I cannot
Okay.
remember clearly, ano? Kasi there's more often than not kasi I release a lot of energies kasi these are all energies, ano?
Yes.
Especially if they don't belong to me.
Okay.
Right. After sessions, usually I release them. So I ask them to refresh me more often than not, or I ask permission to connect.
Okay.
Kasi nga, there's this thing kasi that I've experienced called psychic snooping, which is actually it's been done to me when I was still in college.
Okay.
And it's really rude.
Okay,
honestly,
yes.
to say the least.
Yes.
Para kang it's violating, for lack of a better term.
Yes. Oo.
Right, diba? So that's why I release, and that's their business kasi I was only sent to their path to help.
Yes.
And that's it.
Yes.
Right. So I don't quite recall. Sometimes it refresh. More often than not, I need to get refreshed.
Ay, it's okay. Hindi ko na kasi nakwento niyo na rin naman.
Right.
Usually we start na I ask people how it began for them. So before lang I ask, we go to that your origin story. How long have you been doing this, the healing portion?
As a Reiki practitioner, I started my journey in Reiki level 1, which is self-healing, in 2007.
Okay, wow. Tagal na rin pala.
Yeah.
Oo.
Then, took me several years, not because that's the way it is, it's just how I wanted to pursue it.
Okay.
To be able to get to what we would call your master level.
Yes.
Or teaching level.
Oo.
But my journey really started in, I guess it started mga 2003.
Okay.
Because I'm also a tarot card reader.
Okay. So you started with tarot. Pero let's say earliest, I'm sure I'm just assuming lang. So is it safe to assume that you have abilities, psychic abilities at a young age na medyo you could see things, you could sense things?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
At what age did it start for you? I mean, did you notice that it's there?
I started noticing it kasi nga syempre when you're in teenage years kasi when you're in your teenage years parang all of a sudden you get exposed to horror movies and all this and that, and it's like, wow, why do I sense these things? Why do these things make sense to me, or why do I feel these things about parang? And then you want to just syempre when your parents are like, you have a very
active
wild imagination, active
Oh.
imagination. That's why you're in creatives and all this and that. That's why you're an artist. Because I became a designer.
Okay.
So before all this, actually an interior designer by profession before.
Okay.
Even when I started in 2000, in 2003, I was still doing web design and different kinds of design work, including interior design. So
yes.
But then yun nga, creative ka kasi, kaya ganyan, creative imagination mo, ganito. Yun yung sinasabi sa'yo, di ba? And I'm like, oh, sige, so you put it at that. right?
Okay.
Put it at that. So, sige na lang, sige, you don't want to be weird.
Okay.
Right? So,
do you see, do you feel, or do you hear? Ano yung start for you? Kasi iba-iba eh.
when I started to feel.
Okay.
I think a lot of people springboard from that entry point, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
You started to feel. Maybe that's why I'm still with Reiki and in healing and feeling energies.
Mm-mm.
It's because that's when I was in my teens.
Mm-mm.
I started to feel, and then quickly I started to see, which freaked me out. I was like,
Yes.
what the hell? Right?
Yes.
So, yun na nga, parang then the Sixth Sense movie came out when I was already working. And I was like, what?
Okay.
This kid's, I understand what this kid's
Oo.
going through.
Oo.
And yung pala, he was dead.
Oo.
Okay, I don't want that.
Okay.
So yun, started with that. And then I would start to feel, and then it would freak my friends out. And it was like,
Mm-mm.
sometimes they were like, okay, whatever you see, just shut up and don't say anything. We don't want to hear it.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not saying anything. Yeah, but your actions are saying whatever. Yung pa yun, high school pa.
Yes.
It's like, okay, so tahimik ka na lang and all that, diba? So,
Oo.
yun ang nangyayari. So, but then again, you just kind of like brush it off, right?
Yes.
So, you also don't want to be like a parlor trick eh.
Totoo.
Diba? You don't want to be like, oh,
Para
Paris,
every house. Every house tatanungan
right?
ka, ano meron. No?
Simon, may ganito eh. Tingnan mo, kaya niyang gawin yung ganyan. And you can bend spoons and whatnot. And you're like in a carnival show. So, you don't want to be that way, diba? So, parang,
Yes.
I don't want this. So, and then you shoved it off. And then you kind of like, okay, you need to be mature now because that's all kids stuff. And so I let it go. I let it go, so to say, but it never lets you go because it's part of you.
Yes.
So it's always been there, and it's always been for quite some time like a mystery to me.
Mm-mm.
So syempre, ano to? What does this mean, right?
Mm-mm.
I don't really want this. So
did you get a mentor?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah. Kasi when finally nung 2002, my late business partner and I was asked to do readings in Sari Sari.
Okay.
The Sari Sari store.
Yes.
The designer store.
Yes.
So we were asked to do readings, and then she was the one who was doing the readings, and I would just help her out or pick her up after my work and all that. And then when this company that I used to work for decided na wala na silang pera. So my boss, who's this American, came to the office and gave us like money for the week. What is this? It's like, sorry, this is the only thing I can afford to pay you guys for 1 week because I have no more money. I was like, seriously? So, and then my late business partner, well, maybe it's time for you to do your own thing, to embrace your gifts. So I started reading.
Okay.
Tarot. So since tarot reading. So since we entered in that realm, we took a seminar with Dr. Licauco.
Okay. Mm-mm.
So it's wonderful kasi it took out because he's a man of science, right?
Yes.
So it took out all the freaky, or lack of a better term, the freaky mysticism in it. Because mysticism, being mystic kasi, the definition of being mystic is an experience of a greater power, mm-hmm. right? So greater than you.
Yes.
An experience of God. So yung freakiness yung natanggal. So we took a basic ESP.
Okay.
And intuition development. So when I went through that, it explains everything in a very scientific way. Everything's energy and all this and that. And then we bent a spoon.
Okay.
Like, whoa!
I
bent a spoon. Damn it! It's like, wow. So wild. I still have the spoon with me to this day.
Okay.
I can't believe I did this thing. So, yeah. And then the journey went on, and we put up this group before called the Light Workers of the Philippines.
Okay.
It was a friend of mine who put it up before, Anale Atienza. There were like 7 of us that started it. Me, Anale was the one who started it. Invited me and my late business partner Edith Ruiz, Dingay Ruiz, and then our other friends. Then it grew. It really grew exponentially. And it's a place where people can share their knowledge and learn from each other. So that's when I met my Reiki teacher, Leah Bernardo, and Isa. And my first Reiki lesson was with Isa. And then the succeeding ones was with Leah because Isa left for the States. So and then yun nga, then they would like, oh, mag-ano ka na, mag-Reiki level 2 ka na. You're already a Reiki practitioner for over a year. Sabi ko, I'm still trying to get more comfortable with, but you're already healing other people. Yeah, well, you share what you can do, diba? So you should go to Reiki level 2 na, healing others and healing with symbols. Okay, so I went to Reiki level 2, and after Reiki level 2, at 2014, I made this decision na, okay, I'd like to share Reiki. I'd like to teach na. So that's when I decided to teach. But I got so it's like a 7-year journey.
Okay.
So, pero it's more it's like coming home, for lack of a better term. It's like coming home, and parang it's made me feel na I'm not such a weirdo.
Lahat naman yan ang feeling, I think. Lahat na nakakausap talaga.
Diba? Parang, okay, you and in the light workers of the Philippines, for lack of a better term, back then, you kind of like, okay, at least I fit in.
Yeah. But back then, nagbago na ba?
Wala na.
Wala na. Okay.
They dissolved the one who put it up decided to dissolve it na rin. And it's fine. I mean, we all went through our different journeys. It served its purpose to put it what do you call that? Diplomatically. It served its purpose.
Okay.
Which is great. But it was now time to move forward to pursue our path.
Yes.
So we were never naman meant to just stay static.
Yes.
So we moved on from there. So, and then yun na nga, me and my late business partner decided to put up our parang healing and coaching and reading and counseling practice.
Yes.
Which is Shanti Wellness.
Okay.
It's in Facebook basically. So, and then she passed away noong 2020.
Wow.
July 14, 2020. So, not with COVID. Okay. Unfortunately, she passed with she had a massive heart attack.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. But she's, well, as like I said, everything's energy.
Yes.
She's never left. And even her clients have transferred to me, and she's still guiding me to this day. I mean, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
She's just in a different form.
Can I ask a question there? Or
yes.
Medyo sensitive ba? Is it okay?
No naman.
Kasi, okay, so from the people we've talked to, sinasabi nila na, doon ako medyo nalilito, personally. So some spirits, they tend to stay. And they tend to stay earthbound. So, for your late business partner, did she like, kasi meron ako narinig na, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Raymond Isaac, the late Raymond Isaac. Sinabi niya yun na parang,
yes, I've heard.
If they leave, they go to the light, they have an only pass to go back. Parang yes. Description niya. So,
I agree.
Okay. So, ganun nga. May ganun talaga.
Ganun talaga. Especially if we all have kasi our soul contracts.
Okay.
And because we have the gift of free will.
Yes.
Our Creator has given that to us. Right? And it does not start when you get incarnated into this life. No, it has started upon conception in the spirit realm.
Okay.
So you've had your free will before you be even incarnated here. So what happens pa nga, because I'm also a Kabbalist, I took up Kabbalah.
Okay.
The explanation there, because everything kind of like works together, believe it or not.
Yes.
Everything really works together. Different faiths, different belief systems.
Yes.
I'm a follower I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm spinning off.
It's okay. It's okay. Go lang.
I'm a follower of Father. Well, I was one of his students. So Father Richard Rohr. He's a Franciscan friar.
Okay.
He's based in New Mexico, Albuquerque,
Okay.
and he works with. He's Catholic basically, but he's a friar, diba?
Yes.
So, but he works with different denominations.
Yes.
He works with a Jewish rabbi. He works with a preacher, a Baptist, and what he said, which struck me the most, was especially when I was taking his course after my late partner passed in 2020. She was the one who led me to him. Because we started following him when the pandemic started. What he said was, it's true when it's true in everything. Meaning to say, in all denominations.
Yes.
So in all denominations, andun eh. So yung talagang it all connects. I'm like, oh my God, that's true. So again, with energy kasi, ganun din, in Reiki energy, everything is energy. Sinasabi nga to sa, we also, kasi my late partner was also a theology professor in Assumption.
Okay.
And we would also talk to, we have a theology professor friend also, so doctorate. She teaches actually nuns and bishops and priests and all that. So sometimes pag kami, ano ba, is it that like this? Ganito may mga questions ka, diba?
Yes.
So sabi niya, okay, ganito yan eh. So the resurrection, right? I mean, if we're gonna go towards the Christian doctrine or the Christian belief system.
Yes.
So the resurrection, Jesus Christ resurrected body and soul, right? So basically, if heaven is a geographical place,
yes,
we would find Jesus' body there.
Okay.
Literally, right?
Okay.
If that was the case.
Yes. If that was the case.
Right. By resurrecting body and soul, his energy vibrated in a higher frequency that he became one with everything. That's why he's one with each and every one of us. So that energy has transformed into each and every one of us. That's why sabi nga nila, if you pass, may free pass ka to come back and forth. Because wala ka ng physical limitations. You're pure energy. Have you watched this movie called Powder?
No. Pero alam ko, ito yung kid na parang albino, ganun ba? Tama ba?
Yes, he got struck. He was struck when he was born. His mother got struck by lightning. So electromagnetic siya. Ang taas na electromagnetic frequency nga. So pagka nagkakaroon ng thunderstorm, he would go to the basement of the house kasi nga usually tatamaan siya ng lightning.
Okay.
Everything around us is electromagnetic. Everything, including our physical body.
Okay.
I mean, that's scientifically proven.
Yes.
Everything's electromagnetic. Like, for example, if you have a cardiac arrest, what do they do? Diba they put the defibrillator.
Yeah, the defib.
So that's an electromagnetic pulse.
Yes.
It's electricity.
Yes. So,
ngayon, at the end of the movie, sorry, spoiler alert. Near the end of the movie, he was afraid then.
Okay.
He decided, hinahanap siya ng FBI or CIA or whatever. Someone is going to make a scientific experiment on him. So, tumakas siya. Jeff Goldblum was running after him in an open field at that.
Okay.
And there was a thunderstorm. And they were chasing him, even these agents were chasing him, and his grandparents that was rearing him or raising him was chasing him in the fields, and he got struck by lightning continuously. And then he disappeared.
Okay.
There was like a big electromagnetic pulse. And nawala siya. And then Jeff Goldblum said, yung mga agents, where did he go? Where did he go? He's gone. And then Jeff Goldblum said, no, he's not. He's now with everyone. So that's how I see resurrecting body and soul. Because you're vibrating in a different energy. Kasi yun yung parang inexplain nga nung theology professor na friend namin. So, you're a healer. You know this. Everything's energy, sabi niya. So Jesus Christ resurrected by the body, and so how is that possible? Everything's possible, diba? Especially with God. So nag-vibrate siya in a different nag-resurrect siya body and soul. And then syempre yung paintings will show na umakit siya, diba? Even Mama Mary is the same thing. Yun. I mean, who wouldn't want to go that way, right? Wala ka na sickness and all that. And then you're just, vibrating. And everyone would want to go that way, right? So no more suffering. Diba? So yun. So that's how I view things. Even that's coming from a Christian standpoint.
Yes.
But that's what I share because that's what I've known and experienced, for lack of a better term.
Mm-hmm. If I may ask, given, kasi I usually ask this to psychics also, na given the things that you've experienced, I mean, the things you've seen, the things you've encountered, I mean, let's say entities you've encountered, how was it? I mean, you mentioned it, let's say, hindi naman briefly, pero you expounded on it, pero how has it affected your faith? Ano yung, have you, nagkakabala ka nga, so parang lahat accepted mo, parang gano'n? Or are you...
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look down on any belief system.
Mm-hmm.
Because I believe it comes from one source.
Okay.
Iba-iba lang yung way natin.
Mm-hmm.
Iba-iba lang yung way natin.
Yes.
That's why when I start to hear, when I'm in a conversation with people, then alam ko na, di ba sabi nga, don't talk about politics and religion, di ba? So I don't. I really don't. So, but when they get into it, okay, I share my view.
Yeah.
And then I just keep quiet because sometimes, you encounter people that are testy, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
And they're testy. Like, there's lalo na pagka you're like, drinking with your friends and whatnot. And then, meron kaming nakasama doon na neighbor namin na, well, I guess I would call him my friend also. So he's getting drunk already and he said, well, I'm an atheist. Okay, fine.
Okay.
That's good. I mean, good for you. Ganun trip mo. Alam, basta ganun trip, di ba? So, well, I don't believe in God. Okay. But you're telling me that there's a God, so what gives? Well, then fine. I respect you don't believe in God. But you believe in God. So why don't you? What makes you believe in God? Because I want to believe in God. So it goes. So parang nang so ako naman medyo nang engage na rin ako. Sabi ko, you said that you don't believe in God, right? So what is there not to believe in if you don't believe in it? And like, you're playing tricks with my mind. It's like, I mean, think about it.
Usapang lasing na talaga.
Hindi mo So, and then mamaya nag-iinit na. Parang gusto niya na maging violent. Sabi ko, alas na madaling araw, natok na ako. Bye-bye, goodbye. Sumuhin na ako, di ba? I'm not get out of here while I'm still, while things are still good. So, yung mga ganun ba?
Yes.
So, and then, syempre, yan din, yung mga times na ganyan, may parlor trick sila. Parang parlor trick ka, yan, Simon, ganyan yan. May alam yan na ganito, ganyan. Okay. So, pakitaan mo kami. Sabi ko, okay, you're not supposed to use Reiki through your ego, for your ego. So, I'm not a parlor trick.
Yun ang parang hirap nga eh. Parang nakakatawa minsan yung mga... So, meron kami Discord na group. And doon minsan, merong ability, merong... Wala. Kagaya ko, manhid ako, wala akong ability. Pero meron mga ability doon. So, minsan may mga tao, biglang mag-post ng picture. Ano nakikita nyo dito? Ano ganun? So, iba, na-feel rin nila na parang, same as yun, na parang, parlor trick ba? Kailangan ba every time may reading na magagawin, di ba? So,
di ba?
So, yun yung, I mean, nagigets ko naman yung feeling rin yun na kayong ability.
Di ba pwede mag-enjoy lang tayo?
Oo nga.
Na maayos. Meron naman tayong ibang interest, di ba?
Yes,
Hindi naman ako kailangan gawing carnival trick dito or ano, diba? Sideshow Bob, di ba?
Oo, correct. Grabe pala. Matanong ko rin lang. Sige, mag-shift ako bigla. Kasi I mean...
Sure.
So, may times na parang hindi ko matanong yung ibang subjects like ETs.
Extraterrestrials.
Yes, extraterrestrials and other higher dimensional beings. So, I mean, the way you talk, I think medyo mas open ka naman to doon. So, have you experienced anything of that sort?
Yeah.
Okay.
They came in dreams.
Okay.
Or it felt like dreams. Messages.
Okay.
About the future. And I didn't see this pandemic. I was like, that's why sa akin, sana naman sinabi nyo sa akin, ano? Para man lang na-prepare ako. But then again, who can really be prepared for this? Right? Or who can be really prepared for losing someone? No one. No one can be prepared for that.
Yes.
So, yung mga ganon. And then, I've seen some weird stuff in the sky.
Okay.
Because there are times that we love watching the clouds. I mean, me and my late business partner, we would we would laugh at the song "I've looked at clouds from both sides now."
Okay.
Because we would like trip out. Minsan nandun lang kami we love to watch sunsets and all that, and we would trip out on, "Wait, tingnan mo yung clouds, so mukhang ganito, mukhang ganito." And then all of a sudden you'd say, "What the hell? What was that?" And you can't explain it.
Yes.
Like there was a time now when I was going, it's nighttime. I was going up to Tagaytay with a friend because we're gonna ride the next day because I bike.
Okay.
So, paakyat kami. Na yung friend ko pa, takutin yun. So, I was looking in the sky, nagda-drive. So, ako yung nakatingin sa labas. Ano? Clear day. Clear night. So, I saw this three, it looked like stars.
Triangular, no? Triangular.
Yes. Triangular position.
Yes,
Diba? It's so, sabi ko, this is so textbooks and annoying. But sabi ko, that's, may nagtitrip lang nito. And then, sabi ko, ang ganda nung parang constellation, and I don't know what you call it. Sabi ko, the parang constellation. Kasi hindi naman ako astrologist, astrologer or whatever. Yung constellation formation yan. Saan? Ayun yung tatlo nakita mo. Kung nga, anong galing, So, umikot. What the hell? Tapos umikot, biglang zoom, nawala. What the hell was that? And I was like, I don't know. Sabi ko, tumingin ka sa kanya ka, baka malaglag tayo sa bamin.
pero going up, nakakotse naman kayo noon?
Nakakotse kami noon. So, paggabi to, after noon, nung pagdating, when we met up with some friends when we got to Tagaytay in my brother's house, it's like, may nakita kami ganito, ganyan. Naman kayo, tinakot mo na naman itong kasama mo. Hindi, nagmuna tayo. Nakita mo yun, diba? It's like, yeah. Yung mga ganun lang yung experience, my personal experience with extraterrestrials. But, yes, we actually, dito matatawa ka.
Sige lang.
We attended this seminar, I don't know if you were aware of it, back in, I can't remember, wait. Siguro mga 2010 yun. It's a seminar with the UFO Society.
UFOSP. Society of the Philippines.
Yes.
May nakausap ako recently kasi doon.
Yes. They even asked Dr. Licauco what he thought of what was happening and all. Dr. Licauco just said I can't really remember. Very, very simple na parang, you know what, you guys should stop. Something like you guys should stop bickering. Parang gano'n. Because they were bickering. Then yung nag-host sabi niya, after lunch, we'll have the people from the US and the UK to share their experiences and all this and that. And that blew my mind.
From the US and the UK,
hindi ako kolonyalista. Pero, because hindi sila nag-away. So, siyempre, may mga nagtatanong. So tinanong ng isang local contingent.
Yes,
So, what do you think? Is it right na ganito, ganyan? The answer to this ganito, ganyan. So, sabi nung taga-UK, if someone tells me that they have parang autonomy on what is wrong and right, that automatically goes down the trash bin. Which is true. I mean, it's like, okay, parang kami lahat, diba? Yes, somebody makes sense. So, di yun. So, and then they said some things about something in the Roswell and all that, and again, how some people have been discredited because of what they said and all this and that. And again, I don't have their experience. I just heard secondhand. But if we believe in a great creator, do you think she would just create us?
Yes. Totoo.
So I believe that there are extraterrestrials, and there's always, if we're gonna look at it in a dualistic term, syempre merong gumagawa ng ganito at merong gumagawa ng hindi okay. May mga ganon, di ba? So they kind of like elaborated on that in some way. Diba? So, but it is what it is.
To be transparent with you, we've talked with actually with a former spirit quester and some other people na they have I'm not sure familiar kasi Mesa Recarpio. Spirit quester siya. She started yun nga spirit questing na multo, elementals, yun ang inaasikaso niya. And then a tragic event happened in her life. And she shifted to plant-based medicine.
Oh, wow.
And then, after that, dun siya nagkaroon bigla ng communication with ETs.
Amazing.
Nung kinakwento niya nga sa amin, sabi ko, how do you keep sane? Sabi ko, kasi yung kwento niya, ibang level na. So parang,
right.
Which will lead me to my next question to you. Kasi, apparently, again, this is just from, I haven't experienced it. These are just from stories from the people we've talked to.
Right.
Apparently, there are different races. Hindi lang yan gray or hindi lang yan yung reptilian na sinasabi nila. So, there are different races. So,
the Greco. The Greco is the reptilian. The Greco daw is the reptilians.
Greco.
I understand.
Okay. So, from you mentioned na through your dreams, they would communicate with you. Ano yung nakikita mong...
There were tall whites that
tall whites. Okay.
That actually communicated. And then this is the time that we were doing some Save the Earth thing with the light workers.
Okay.
So I was like, okay. So, ayun nga. So I try to be as environmentally friendly as possible. Yun nga, hiya pa nga ako because at that time, I was not that environmentally friendly. I still am not. So,
kaya pala
I wouldn't call myself, man, sige, diyan ka na, buisit ka or something. No. Just kidding. I used to smoke kasi before. I mean, yun yung ano ko na, siguro, itong sigarilyo dapat tigilan ko na. Parang gano'n, nung time na yun. So, I was finally able to kick it by mga late 2017, mga ganun. So, but nung time na yun, that was mga 2009, 2010. When I had that dream.
Yeah.
So, and it, yun nga, na parang they were telling us about the global warming and what causes it, and to really, yung Earth Hour, it actually helps. That's what I got from that. Yung 1 hour of shutting down, it actually helps.
Yes.
It actually helps.
Okay.
So actually, they were the ones who actually sort of like gave the idea to whoever coined it.
Yes,
okay, I'll take that. Sabi ko. So that's why when in back then in the light workers of the Philippines, we would really religiously follow the Earth Hour. In fact, we would play games during that time without lights. So, which was it was fun. It was fun. So yun lang yung experience ko with ETs.
So at least hindi mo din-discount na kasi may iba kasing psychics talaga parang hindi nila nakikita yung like you said, it's all connected. Ako naman personally rin, nag-start lang yung connection for me is when I heard Tony Perez, kasi alam ko spirit questing nga siya. He mentioned na he was up in a certain mountain. And I saw the reptilian spaceship. So parang, spaceship reptilian. Tapos doon ko na-realize na, parang they sort of inhabit a similar realm ng spirits and probably elemental. I'm not sure. Maybe you would be able to discuss more on that. Na parang, supposedly nasa fourth dimension si elementals. Yung ETs, they can shift rin.
Yes. For they have the technology to do so. Kasi tayo, very primitive pa tayo eh.
Oo nga yun nga eh.
So, yung kasing, there are different realms.
Yes.
Like, when you start to see elementals or spirits in a different realm. When I started seeing that, I was like, what the hell? What's happening? Did I take something?
Ganun yung feeling. Ganun yung
feeling, parang ka na high. And I'm like, okay, I need to calm down.
While awake sa'yo to.
While awake. And I'm like, what the hell? Did you put something in my drink or something? In my water? So, and then you start seeing the different dimensions. So at first, sometimes lalo pag natulog ka na, and then yun nga sinasabi nilang quote-unquote, for lack of a better term, witching hour.
Yes.
It's actually a spiritual hour.
Okay.
From 3 to 4. 2 to 4.
Okay.
2 to 4 in the morning. So, doon sila nagpaparamdam. Doon tayo.
Okay.
I was sleeping in my apartment. And then all of a sudden, it's like, what the hell ang ingay? And then when I woke up, or I felt like I woke up, daming tao doon sa kwarto. I'm like, what the hell? Natutulog ako. And then when parang they were trying to communicate with you kasi nga they noticed that, oh, you can see us.
Yes.
Or you can hear us. So we can communicate with you. And I'm like, okay, I'm not here to help all of you. I cannot do that. Okay. So, na-control ko yan. Then, I'm not just a Reiki healer because I took up Theta Healing also. I don't know if you're aware of that.
Not yet.
Theta Healing is coined by an American Indian, Viana Stibal. It's based in the US. So Theta is a level of consciousness.
Okay.
So most healing modalities like Reiki, pranic healing, most healing modalities are in alpha state.
Okay.
Kasi the reason she used yung levels of consciousness is because her life partner is a hypnotherapist.
Okay.
So doon niya binased yung level of teachings niya. Tsaka that's why she coined it as Theta. Theta is the highest level of consciousness, which is God consciousness.
Okay.
So anyway, my point being, sorry.
Okay lang. Okay lang.
I practiced that with my Reiki.
Okay.
Kasi Reiki is a very raw and pure form of healing modality. So I love it. Because yun nga, unfortunately, may mga ibang, kasi it's raw and pure, may mga ibang tao na nagpapasok ng kanilang style din sa kanila. There's nothing really wrong with that unless, again, you use it in a way that would not be beneficial to the greater good, for lack of a better term.
Yes.
Right? Kasi sometimes we get the best, it gets the best of us. You know, our ego gets the best of us.
Yes.
I've met some great people who have fallen for that. You know, and ako rin, nadadapa din ako doon. Parang okay, di ba? So that's why you need to kind of like center. That's why, to me, meditation is paramount.
If you are healing.
If you're healing, for anyone, okay. I would suggest that to anyone because it grounds you. Even contemplative prayer is what they would call it in Catholic terms or Christian terms. Kasi I think it was Herman Melville that said it this: God's only voice is silence. So when we pray, it's us talking to God, whether it's thanking God, asking something, asking guidance, whatever. When we become quiet and still, that's when He talks to us, or God or she talks to us. That in Zen, it said that it's the silence between the notes is where music comes from. It's the gaps between the bars that holds the tiger in that cage. So I'm like, okay. So, and I've it has helped me. It has also helped me switch off stuff. Like, for example, there was a time talagang when I started opening up to this. Kasi yun yan, energy and law of attraction.
Yes, oo nga.
You open up to something and all of a sudden it's like, what the hell? I'm seeing things. Diba? So I started opening up to these things. So I started seeing things and then my late partner was like, okay, I don't want that. Kasi there was a time.
Ano yung thing? Pwede makwento, sige.
Okay. She was very powerful in her sight.
Sight.
Because she could peer into a different dimension. And it freaked out her husband.
Okay.
At that time. So, she was telling me, one time daw, she woke up at about, mga ganyan, 2 o'clock, 2:30, 3 o'clock. She looked out her bedroom window and their bedroom was on the second floor, looking over the road and the house next door. And then she goes, oh, wow. Why is there a pickup truck in the roof of the neighbor's house?
A pickup truck?
A pickup truck.
Pickup truck,
with people. And then people
with
around
people.
And then it's like, your husband was like, what? there's a pickup truck there in the neighbor's house. In the neighbor's house. Yes, on the roof. And there are people there. You need to go back to bed.
So wait, parallel dimension?
Parallel dimension. Yes, parallel dimension.
Okay.
She peered into it and she didn't even know.
Oo.
And it's like, okay, you peered into another dimension. Sabi ko, I know what you mean. Kasi there was a time I couldn't stop it. Pwede kang ma-aksidente kasi it's clear as day.
Oo.
So there was a time because I used to serve in a music ministry, and every first Saturday we would be going to again Tagaytay to serve in a Marian place there.
Okay.
And every first Friday kasi may vigil dun sa church where we serve. So we would do the vigil, and then by 2 a.m. diretso na kami ng Tagaytay kasi the next morning magsaserve kami. So we would go straight to my brother's house. I would be driving the van along with other music ministry members and the musical equipment.
Yes.
Then one time, paliko ako dito sa road na to. 2 in the morning. Then I slowed down.
Okay.
Then my brother's like, why are you slowing down? May tumatawid eh. Walang tumatawid. Bilisan mo.
Okay. Okay.
Hindi mo nakita yun? May tumawid na dalawang bata. Walang tumatawid. Alas 2 na. Bilisan mo. Gusto ko na matulog. May nakikita ka na naman. Bilisan mo na. Okay, fine. So ganon. Yung mga ganon, it's as clear as you and me.
Yes. Oo.
So I was like, okay, I couldn't tell.
How do you distinguish if it's spirit?
At that time, I couldn't.
Okay.
At that time, I couldn't. And they would talk to me and I would talk back, and then syempre, he would like, are you crazy or something? What the hell are you talking to?
Yes.
Diba? So I'm like, okay, I need to get a grip on this. So me and my late business partner in our journey, so we decided to go take up meditation. So kasi we heard that, meditation can help and all this and that. So we took up meditation. We started meditation with Brahma Kumaris.
Okay.
Are you familiar with that?
Ay, hindi. Re-research ko siya. Sige.
Saan yun? They have a place in Bagtikan Street in Makati.
Okay.
So anyway, and they also have a place in Tagaytay. They have vegetarian stuff. Mga ganun. So, point of light. So, yung first introduction ko to meditation, any form of meditation. So, okay naman siya. And then, it kind of calmed down my... And then I would like, nakikita ko na ngayon na, I can now distinguish kasi if I want to know if this is a person, a real person as in live human being, or someone in another dimension or spirit realm, it becomes parang a bit translucent.
Pero let's say spirit or other dimension, ano yung pang-distinguish mo? May kasamang intuition ba or?
Yes, may kasamang intuition.
Okay.
May kasamang intuition. Kasi yung explanation ko or the way I would describe it, quote unquote, yung ibang dimension, parang you like walked into something else. Biglang all of a sudden, iba na yung surroundings. Ba't ganito?
Yes, oo.
But then again, that's freaky kasi pwede kang ma-aksidente nga nun eh. Di ba?
Hindi mo alam kung nasa dimension natin.
Nag-drive ka, nagbabike, o even naglalakad ka, biglang yung pala, tumatawid ka sa gitna ng kalye, hindi mo pa alam, nakala mo nasa loob ka ng bahay. Di ba? Yung ganun eh. Parang high. It's like that, I guess. So parang, what the hell did I take? Parang kaya nga ganun yung mo, di ba? So, ngayon, hindi na siya basta I can switch it off.
Okay.
More often than not, naka-off yan. Unless someone asks.
With intention.
Okay, and that got sharper when I took up Zen meditation. Because in Zen, you learn how to let go. Okay. And be in the present moment. So when you're in the present moment, literally, nandito ka lang, ito ka. And you're aware of everything around you. That helped me put like a light switch in entering these things. This realms, for lack of a better term. As commonly placed or commonly called. Diba? So, of course, pag sinabi ko sa ibang tao, dude, you're fucking nuts. Sorry, excuse my French. Sorry.
Oo nga. Mas open-minded naman yung, the audience, mas open-minded. Yun nga, meron kami mga nakausap. At alam mo, gusto ko sensei iba, yung kinoconnect ko lang ngayon. Kasi meron kami nakausap na girl from Amsterdam. And nag-channel sila. Siya mismo, I guess yun yung affinity niya, nakaka-channel siya.
Yes.
Bigla may kinuwento siya sa amin na, there's this time na nag-channel ako and then the spirit would channel into me. Medyo grumpy siya, ganun-ganun. And it would show me the time. So sabi niya, time stream. So parang, the word she explained it, sabi niya, the best I could describe it is as a time spirit. So parang, time spirit? Ano yung time spirit?
Wow, that's wild.
So parang pinapakita sa kanya yung stream of time.
Ang galing.
As a river, tapos pinapakita sa kanya yung mga nexus point daw.
Parang may timeline.
Yes. Tapos
ang galing.
Nakausap namin siya before lumabas si Loki na, ewan ko kung sinusunod may Loki na TV series. So yung sa Loki na TV series, parang ganun na, yung same sa'yo na may parallel timelines.
Right.
May parallel timelines na they're occurring at the same time.
Right.
So parang, yun yung pinapakita sa kanya. So parang, tapos yan sinasabi mo nga, ikaw first ko nakausap na, nakikita mo yung, madalas mo makita ibang dimension.
Before, lalo na. Ngayon, at will na lang kasi nga, first and foremost, sorry, I'll just turn it off.
Yes, go lang.
Ngayon kasi, I just, only when asked.
Okay.
Only when asked.
We can cut this out. Can I ask when do people ask you to go to that other parallel timeline? To that parallel dimension or whatever.
People that come for healing, especially for someone that they lost.
Okay.
That has passed on.
Mm-mm.
I use Reiki and Theta.
Okay.
Because I go up to Theta first before coming into, kasi you passed the Akashic records.
Yes, oo. So sa Theta ang Akashic, tama ba?
Lagpas.
Lagpas
Akashic.
pa. Okay.
Lagpas pa. So in God consciousness, you have access to everything.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from creators, basically, for lack of a better term, permission.
Yes, oo.
Or guidance. Let's put it at guidance. Para, kasi you don't want to be contacting something that you don't want to, right?
Yes.
So, we're aware of that. I mean, diba?
Yes, oo.
I mean, you need to be grounded or at least man lang anchored to something.
Protected.
You're always protected naman eh. But the thing is, it's our choice to be protected.
Okay.
Diba? So, and fear is the one that actually gets that protection out. It's what blows the candle out.
Mm-mm.
Fear.
Mm-mm.
Yun. So when people would ask, would come for healing, regarding healing someone, especially kung syempre, people that sometimes meron tayong loved one that has passed on and hindi tayo okay sa kanila eh. For lack of a better term. Nagkaroon tayo ng mga hindi magandang experiences or whatever, unsaid things, or things that have been said that shouldn't have been, right? Sabi nga nila, huwag kang magsasabi ng things na you might regret because you can't take it back, right?
Yes.
May mga ganon. So, I would like to ask. So, I would channel through Theta.
Okay.
And I would go towards that state and will communicate with that person.
That person. Yes. So,
being. Pero yun nga, I don't do it unless requested.
Yes.
Yeah. Yun. Again, syempre, nung nakwento ko yun sa ibang kaibigan ko, sige nga, subukan natin. Ganun, parlor trick ka na naman, parang galing-galing mo. Subukan mo nga gawin yung ganito. Hindi natin gagawin yan, ha? Hindi maganda yan. It's not for general use.
Oo nga. Tsaka yung energy, yung I'm assuming lang, I'm just assuming, na yung energy na kinakain rin sa'yo nun to do something like that, taxing rin ba? Tama ba ako to assume that?
To a certain degree, yes. But, since I'm connected to Reiki.
Okay. May healing involved sa'yo.
But I am not tapping on my energy. I am not tapping on my energy. I'm tapping on Creator's energy. So, conduit lang ako.
Okay.
I'm not the one healing. I'm not the one really communicating. And I'm not the one, kumbaga, yun nga, lang ako, vessel lang ako.
Yes.
Hindi sa akin nanggagaling yan.
Yung energy, oo.
Kasi kung sa akin, the only time na nanggagaling sa akin yung energy, which I use crystals to help me with it, is when I teach. Kasi you're imparting a part of you in teaching.
Yes.
So I put crystals when I do my attunement process for Reiki.
What crystals? Kasi, again, sa Discord namin, maraming questions. Ako wala rin ako kasi alam.
Okay.
What crystals do you use for that? Like imparting, does it just fit for teaching or mas pang...
This one specific.
For Reiki teaching.
I have this for specific for attunement.
Mm-hmm.
They're generator crystals. Quartz generator crystals.
Okay.
There's several of them formed in a certain way to be able to generate the energy that I need to be able to do the attunement process.
Okay.
Otherwise, less pag ako, promise.
Oo. Oo.
Alam mo, tipo mga 3 tao nga lang na walang ganun after nun. It's like, oh my God, what the hell?
Oo. So, pagod. Oo.
Pagod. Pero with that, thank you, Lord. Nakakatulong. Laking tulong talaga.
Oo.
So, yung crystals kasi are, they have energy.
Yes. Oo.
And it's and they're 0-0 yan eh. Every time you cleanse it, 0-0 siya. So every time you
recharge dapat.
Use it for what you need to use it for, you're you're charging it with the energy that you needed to give.
So there's a process for you before you teach.
Yes.
Meron kang process before you to use that energy.
Yes.
Wait, another question.
Yes.
Ito, again, we can cut this out if medyo uncomfortable yung question. Sa akin kasi, lahat ba ng kasi I'm assuming since you're a Reiki healer, sometimes people, alam ko bleep out ko yung name niya. So pag nagpapahealing daw siya, minsan wala naman daw paranormal stuff na
experience.
Pero experience. So question ko, so may mga depressed na nagpapaheal ba na talagang wala namang paranormal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yung energy lang parang
kasi some people are not like, okay, my mother, God rest her soul, and she's also still one of my spirit guides. Sorry ma. But she's like totally numb to these things. That's why she was like, ay nako, ikaw, dami mo kasi pinagpapapanood na kalokohan, kaya ganyan. So, sabi niya, kasi they grew up in the war.
Okay,
yes. World War II. Kung totoo yung mga kalokohan na yan, nasa sila nung panahon hapon. I mean, you can't blame her.
Yes.
They went through some hardship.
Yes.
And, you kind of want to ask the question, where the hell were you guys? Right? So, minsan na tinakot yung mga hapon nang wala silang pinatay. It is what it is. Right? So, and there are people like where this interview started, she's not into this.
Yes.
Until she experienced it.
Yes.
Right. So, with me, there are people who don't experience anything, or they just feel afterwards. I just feel good. Okay siya, magaan, nakatulog ako. Ganun. Sometimes it's just like that, and they more often than not, they see the effects as the days come by.
Yes.
Naayos tong ganito. All of a sudden it's like, and it's not like a miracle that I did. No, it's their energy that they allowed me, or allowed the source to shift through me.
Okay. Pero pag gano'n, just again, question lang. Let's say pag gano'n nga, may block lang sa energy nila. How would you describe it?
More often than not, our energy is blocked. So kasi nga, we have, I don't know if you're aware of it, or if you're familiar with it, we have 7 common chakras.
Yes, the chakras.
Right, the chakras. So, yung mga chakras na yan, they're connected to our physical organs.
Okay.
Right? Ngayon, and they're spinning counterclockwise, depending on where you are in the world. Dito sa Pilipinas, in this part of this hemisphere, so I was told, counterclockwise style.
Okay.
Right? So, if we go to another place, it shifts, but it goes back when you go back here.
Okay.
Now, if it's imbalanced, it's either stopped spinning or it's spinning clockwise, baliktad na.
Okay.
Usually may mga ailments ka na. And the physical manifestation, like for example, you have a cardiovascular disease, cancer, that stems from your heart chakra.
Okay.
The last manifestation of a blocked energy is physical. Pag umabot sa physical yan, ibig sabihin matagal mo nang binitbit yan. Okay. O malakas yung kapit sa'yo, as some would put it. Malakas yung kapit sa'yo nung kung ano man yung ito, either elemental or whatever. And it's always us allowing it to happen. So
Okay.
Dr. Wayne Dyer put it very well, and even Louis Hay, blame is a waste of our energy. Because we cannot blame anyone. We can't even blame the elemental that attached to us. Kasi hindi naman makaka-attach sa atin yan kung hindi natin papayagan. Our energy allowed it.
Paano nangyayari? I believe that, ako personally, pero iniisip ko lang, yung attachment ng elementals, wini-wear down kami. Kasi may tinanong rin akong exorcist. Sabi niya, hindi ka mapaposes kung hindi mo papayagan.
Exactly.
Oo. So inisip ko yung attachment ng mga elemental. Anyway, sige. Okay lang.
Yes. Your question, what's that?
How do they attach without... Kasi parang...
Ano sila kumapit sa'yo? Hindi mo alam, di ba?
Paano sila kumapit? Oo.
Okay.
Energy mo? Ganon?
Yes, exactly. Like for example, okay. ako nga nakakapitan ako, hindi ko alam. Minsan, my God, may nakakapit na sa akin. So tatanggalin ko na lang siya.
Oo.
Sa atin, like I said, I bike, right?
Yes.
So lalo na before, minsan trip namin, night ride, mountain bike. Nagubat, ang saya, di ba? Ang ganda pa tayo pag nakakita ka ng aura, pati pinatay mong ilaw mo, ang mga puno, ang aura nila puti.
Okay.
Yes, they glow.
Oo.
Glow in the dark sila, promise, ang ganda. So, hindi ka mawawala, makikita mo sa kadadaan. Pero yun nga lang, eto ngayon, so ganyan na nun. Like I said, like I mentioned earlier, fear is what puts out the light.
Yes.
Pagka medyo kinabahan ka, parang, oh my God, ba't ganito ganyan? Or nag-isip ka ng, it's energy, it shifts quickly. That's why sabi nila, be careful what you think of. Be careful what you wish for, you just might get it.
Yes.
Because our thoughts are like wishes.
Yes.
So, pag bigla ka natakot, kinakancel ko agad. Yung minsan nakakalimutan mo na, you get carried away. Parang, hindi nakalimutan mo na, natakot ba ako doon? Hindi ko matandaan. Yung pala meron akong binbit, natakot ako. Or sometimes, eto pa, if you're a healer or whatever, or pagka kasi nag-heal ka, we're all beings of light. So nag-glow yung aura mo into an iridescent white light. Talagang bright. So ngayon, yung mga medyo lost, that's
pupunta
the light. Punta siya sa'yo, diba?
Yes.
Biglang all of a sudden, ba't ang bigat? Ay, ba't kumakapit ka sa akin? Hindi ako. So ngayon, nung natutunan ko yung other forms of healing that I use with my Reiki, send them to God's light.
Okay.
Sige na, send you to God's light. Yun, mga ganon. Even with the elementals. Kasi, pati yun, elementals, they're not all bad.
Yes,
because we have elementals that are good. They're actually helping you. I mean, we have elementals that are spirit guides. We don't even know it.
Yes.
Oh my God, spirit guide pa siya. Yun nga, nung nag-try kami one time, meron kaming, at least it showed himself in that way, siguro in a way that I would understand, or at least the people that I was with, sa praning sila. So, ngayon mo nakakita. Tsaka si Randy nakakita. Bad trip tong mga to. So, okay lang yun, okay matakot. So, meron tayong guide, naghingi ako ng tulong. So, ano yung itsura niya? So, sige, ito yung pinakita niyang itsura sa akin, okay? Sabi ko, napanood niyo si, tawag dito, what's that movie? Tawag dito, with the ring. Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings, yes.
Lord of the Rings. Para si Gandalf the Grey, but he's like 9 feet tall.
Wow.
With a hood. So, parang ganun yung itsura niya. So, ano ginagawa niya? Wala, nakasusunod lang sa atin. So, humingi ako ng tulong para huwag tayo mahasel. Okay. So, dito sa bike kami, merong nagkikwento isang kasama namin, meron sila dito. Sabi ko, may portal dyan, huwag kayo mag-freak out. So, may nagbabantay.
Stress magkasama ka pala.
May nagbabantay na parang dwarf na naka-green siya.
Okay.
And siya, hindi siya masama. He's just very playful. Pag titripang kanya, promise.
Oo.
So kaya pala nung nandun sila the last time, so sabi niya, etong derailleur ko, nakakainis eh. Nag-go shift. Biglang meron sila narinig. Madilim doon eh. Kasi in the forest, pag pinatay mo yung ilaw mo, yung headlamp and your handlebar lamp, you can't see 2 inches from your face.
Yes, oo.
So talagang pitch black. So nakikita lang nila yung nag-a-adjust. Nakakainis ka, nag-go shift eh. Hindi ko maintindihan eh. Bigla may narinig sila dito, boss. Hindi ko nga maintindihan eh. Tapos tumawa. Kasi ay para, alisa tayo dito ba?
Oo.
sila. So dumadaan na kami dun sa route na yun. Ano?
Oo, alam nila ko saan.
Oo. So sabi nga yan, ito na siya, dito yung para. Sabi ko, okay lang yun, huwag yung pansinin, may nagbabantay lang dyan. Meron kasing portal dyan, sabi ko. Anong portal? Ito, nandito na. Andiyan na pare, nararamdaman ako. Tapos may nagsalita nga, pinagtripan na naman
talaga?
sila. Oo. Andiyan na pare, may nararamdaman. Inuwanan niya kami. Bilis niya. Finally, di na ako makapidal kasi tawa na ako ng tawa. Paahon yun. Paahon. Sabi ko, shit. Hirap na ako pumidal. So, kasi tawa nga na ako ng tawa. Bakit ka tawa ng tawa, pare? That's not funny. It is funny because he was just tripping out on us. It's not bad. He's just guarding the portal. Kasi nga baka may lumabas doon na hindi natin gusto, di ba?
Yes,
And you know that portal's still there, but you know what's in front? What's on it now? It's actually a gate heading towards like some warehouse. It's paved na yung road na yun.
Meron na ano.
Pero nandun pa rin yung portal.
Oo. So, dinadaanan pa rin talaga ng...
Dinadaanan pa rin ng tao.
Tsaka ng spirits.
Ng kotse na ngayon. Hindi, walang lumalabas sa spirits kasi may bantay.
Pero, sorry, na-curious ako dyan sa kwento mo yan. Bakit, ano yun, parang, ba't siya nagbabantay? Parang naging task niya yun o naging...
Task niya yun.
Role niya?
Role niya yun. Parang siya yung nilagay doon. Siguro, keeper siya. Parang gatekeeper. Ganun.
Oo.
May buti na lang, di ba? Kung hindi, kung ano lumalabas doon.
Oo nga.
Hindi natin ano lumalabas doon.
Kaya nga wala ka pa naman nakita na lumalabas doon na
wala na.
Kakaiba.
Wala naman. Thank God, di ba? Galit. Tawa pare, di nakakatawa. At least ikaw, alam mo kung ano nangyayari. Kami, narinig lang kami.
Imagine ko pikon na pikon sa'yo.
Pikon na pikon sila sa amin. Si isang kasama namin na nakakita rin, tawa rin siya ng tawa. Pero mon, pare, kinakabahan ako kasi hindi ko nakikita, naririnig ko lang din.
Naririnig niya lang,
So, okay lang. Yun nga, yung kayo matakot. But the thing is, remember, we were made in the image and likeness of God. Okay?
Yes.
So we're connected to God.
Mm-mm.
And that light never goes out unless you want it to. And the only time you want it to is when you connect to fear.
Yes.
Kasi God is love.
Mm-mm.
Fear cannot exist with love, and love cannot exist with fear. So if you connect to fear, patay yan. Mawawala yung light.
Yun nga, may narinig ako advice na parang, alam mo, parang kung hindi ka aware dyan, yung point mo na yun na fear, yung fear talaga yung problema dyan eh. May nag-mention, I forgot ko sino nagkwento sa amin na parang cheesy isipin, pero think happy thoughts. Be happy.
Exactly.
Makinig kang happy music, kumanta ka.
Di ba Peter Pan?
Oo. Peter Pan, di ba? Yun talaga eh. Parang positive vibes lang, di ba? So parang dahil dun lang, na, yung term nila is parang nalilift mo yung frequency mo eh. Parang yun yung sinasabi nila na, di ba? So, ang cheesy lang isipin.
Yes.
Pero sa totoo lang, it really works based on people we've talked to, di ba? Na kagaya mo. Oo.
Okay, I'm not negating that. I'm not saying that you turn a blind eye to whatever suffering you're going through.
Yes.
You know, kasi suffering can still be a blessing.
Mm-mm.
And we can learn from it. We can learn from everything. But what's important is you come from love.
Ayun,
what is this
unconditional
teaching?
Love. Oo.
What is this teaching me? Right? I mean, like, yun nga, that's why nabilib kami ng business partner ko before kay Father Richard. Yun nga, he's still suffering. He's actually going through, he went through remission, but unfortunately, bumalik yung cancer niya.
Oo.
And you know, you don't even see it in him.
Okay. Oo.
In his demeanor, in the way he talks. Dr. Wayne Dyer overcame cancer when he died in 2016. When they did an autopsy, he had 0 cancer cells in his body.
Wow.
It's just that he probably just decided to go. He died in his sleep. He never woke up. He went to sleep and never woke up. So, even if you're going through suffering, you can see the lessons in it.
Yes.
And I'm not saying that it's easy. It's like, you know, it's like a walk in the park. It's not. But you can see the lessons in it. And that's when you can come from love. And you can transform everything from that.
So parang frame of mind, no? Parang conditioning rin ng frame of mind mo. Tama ba?
Conditioning.
Oo.
And it's not, kasi some people say, hindi, basta, the worst thing you can do kasi is belittle someone's grief or what someone's going through. You cannot do that. Hindi, kasi ganito lang gawin mo. No, you cannot do that. I mean, first and foremost, you need to acknowledge that the person's going through something.
Yes.
And your task, if you're a healer, or even if you're just a friend, is to just be there. You know? And if you can't say anything that would help, the best thing to ito natutunan ko sa mother ko, wala kang magandang sasabihan, tumahimik ka na lang. I mean, talaga naman.
Oo, totoo naman. So,
ayun, I mean, sabi nga nila ng Eraserhead, di ba? Sa pare ko. At dito kayo, okay na eh.
Oo, totoo.
So, yun, I mean, yes.
Sige, go ahead.
No, I'm good. Go ahead.
Magte-thank you lang ako sa iyo na you took the time to talk with us, and yun nga, I mean, ako, ang dami ko na naman natutunan sa iyo. Kasi minsan meron kami, kaya gusto ko rin talaga nakakausap ng mas experience, kasi meron kami mga nakakausap, meron na sa Discord group na parang there's, you could say, parang awakening na ngayon, recently, na parang na-rediscover nila, meron sila abilities, hindi nila maintindihan, and gano'n. I'm not sure if, do you still parang offer that service with yung sa late partner mo? Do you have that service na parang guiding people, ano?
Definitely. Definitely. In fact, now kasi with regards to Reiki, if we're going to go to Reiki lang, ano?
Yes. Reiki. Sige.
I'm working with a group, with a company that gave me my life coaching accreditation. And we're going to be working also, I think, with the government, and we're going to be teaching Reiki online.
Talaga? Okay.
So, it's in TLC.
Okay.
Talent Leadership Change Consultants.
Okay.
That's they have a Facebook page.
Okay, sige.
So,
I'll link to that.
Basically, we will be teaching Reiki online. We'll be working on that this month. Kasi nga, iba yung face-to-face Reiki as opposed to online. Kasi nga, pag face-to-face, okay lang kasi animated ka, nandiyan yung tao, and you have an audience, a captured audience, for lack of a better term. Pag online kasi, yung 4 na oras mo, you need to make it worthwhile kasi otherwise mababato yan. Diba? Tsaka nasa bahay yan, mamaya biglang may tumatawag. May tumatawag dito.
May Shopee, may delivery.
Diba? May Shopee, ganon. You need to get them hooked in what you're teaching, otherwise mag-miss out sila. Or they'll get bored.
Yes.
And they won't know. And tas yung attunement process, we need to re-engineer my class. For lack of a better
For online, no?
For online. Pero with regards to sessions, I still do my own sessions.
Okay.
I'm still open to that.
So you still accept online na lang, hindi na
online muna, online. Lalo na ngayon with the Omicron thing, I mean, we're gonna be in trouble. I mean, a lot of people were getting it. Well, hopefully nga, if what they're saying and what the intuitive message I got, Lord, sana totoo yung nakuha ko. Or I claim it.
Yes. Claim it.
That this Omicron will really end this thing.
Okay.
Sana nga.
So you get, last question, so you get that from guides or you get that from, kasi again, from the people we've talked to, meron talaga mga tao na halo-halo yung ability. So some get precognition also. So do you also get that?
Precog, yes.
Yes, okay. So that's something you came upon.
Yes.
Yung sa Omicron, okay. Sana nga.
And I'm praying that I'm right. Please. Sana nga. Pagod na yung tao. Pagod na mga tao. Law of attraction, yes. I mean, we attracted this, I'm sorry to say, but we actually attracted this energy into our space. Collective consciousness. Yun nga eh. In 2012 kasi sabi na, the world will end and all that. In a form of energy, the world's system ended. It shifted, basically. So ngayon, mas mabilis na lahat ng bagay. Notice na yung karma mas mabilis ngayon.
Oo nga daw. Narinig ko rin yun.
Mas mabilis ngayon. So, yung gaya dati, it'll take time bago balik ang karma. Ngayon, ang bilis. Kasi balik sa'yo agad. Thank you. Karma's both ways, ha? I mean, what you do good is what you get back. And what you do in a negative way is what you get back also. Diba? You get out what you put out there.
Sorry, last question. Tinatry ko kasi minsan, kasi based on some people we've talked to, nakikita ko minsan na ability people come from certain regions around the Philippines. So I'm just trying to substantiate my theory. If I may ask, anong ancestry mo? Anong roots mo? Province or ano?
Roots?
Yes.
Honestly, I'm not very sure.
Okay.
Technically, Manileño ako.
Okay,
So,
okay.
And my grandmother, from my father's side, she's from Arayat. And my grandfather, I really have no idea. I was not even born when he died.
Okay.
And my grandmother on my mother's side, I think they're from Malolos, Bulacan. With regards to my grandfather on my mother's side, he was Mason. He was a Spanish Mason.
Mm.
And then
Basque region ba? Hindi naman.
Hindi ko alam. Alam ko, anak siya ng praile. Mga ganon, diba? Then I researched my mother's maiden name is not Spanish.
Okay.
It's Irish.
Mm.
So, apparently, meron daw kaming Irish background. So, hindi pala tayo Espanyol. Sabi ko, mga Irish pala tayo. Babae natin si Bono ng U2, di ba?
Oo nga.
Tawa yung ate ko, si Raulo ka talaga, loko-loko ka. So, yung malay mo, di ba?
Oo nga. Hindi masabi. Ayun. Thank you, Mon. Salamat.
You're welcome. Thank you
also.
Thank you so much.
It's
my honor. It's my honor to be in your...
Thank you, Mon. Thank you.
Thank you
Salamat.
so much.
Okay, good night. Bye-bye, Mon. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mon, for taking the time and sharing your stories. There are a lot of things to unpack and internalize. Personally, for me, when Mon explained that fear is a magnet towards certain entities, it kind of supported the other insights from previous guests. And of course, moving forward, I know that I should try to be less afraid and try to know how to shift my emotions towards something less attractive to fear-loving entities. If you want to book a session with Mon or you want to know more about what they're doing, you can reach him at omshantywellness@gmail.com or on their Facebook page. I'll post the link in the show notes so it's easier for you to find. Alam mo, sa totoo lang, na-curious ako dun sa kwento ni Mon na may portal sa bike trail. Parang iniisip ko, ano yung dynamics na may bantay yung portal? Sino nag-a-assign sa kanya na magbantay ng portal? Bakit yung ibang portal na naririnig ko from other stories walang bantay? So, yun ba ang reason? May idea ka kaya kung bakit ganun? Baka naman gusto mo i-share sa amin yung experiences mo sa ganyan. You can reach the podcast via our email, paranormalsph@gmail.com. Or you can share your story via chat. Hop onto our Discord server where we have a safe space community where you will not be judged for your personal beliefs and esoteric practices. I'll post a link to our Discord invite in our show notes. If this is the first episode you are listening to, welcome to the podcast. You might want to start, suggestion lang naman, with episode 1 because I realized as the podcast progresses, it tends to be serialized. Meaning, some stories connect to one another. Some people appear in and out of the stories. And if you don't listen to it chronologically, some stories and comments might go past your head. Suggestion lang. Alam ko marami siya nagsiskip. Pinipili nyo lang yung gusto nyo pakinggan. Ganun naman talaga. Pero suggestion ko, kung gusto nyo masabayan yung discussions and yung inside jokes, try to start from episode 1 and listen to it chronologically. If you want to be notified when we've put up a new episode, please subscribe to our channel either on YouTube, Facebook, or Spotify. We have new episodes every Tuesday, 7 p.m. on Spotify, and Thursdays, 1:37 p.m. on YouTube. Uber thanks to our paranormal Patreons and coffee supporters. Sunny, Jay, Don, Bob Capo, and Enrico. Thank you very much for your support. Do you want to support the podcast? Patreon is one of the ways you can support the podcast. If, just in case, this is something that interests you, I'll put the link in the show notes. If you want to support us in any other way, you can always share your favorite episode to like-minded friends or invite people to Discord. Konnichiwa to our listeners in Japan. I see a significant rise in numbers of listeners in the land of the rising sun. Kamusta kayo dyan? Thank you to all our listeners over there. I hope you are doing well. As you know, I'm intrigued by creepy stories and encounters in the Asian region. If you have any, please do not hesitate to reach out and share. The Paranormal Podcast is engineered and produced by F90 Productions. The more people we reach, the more minds we get to open. So if you can, please like, share, leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to us. You know, all these things help the podcast reach more people and hopefully help more people who are just opening up to this invisible world we seem to live in. Thank you everyone for listening, and please, please, please stay safe. Musta na mga LOs? Okay, usapang takot ako, no? Usapang aswang tayo. Kasi medyo naging active yung usapang aswang sa Discord, and ang daming theories na na-share and experiences. And may magandang theory na narinig from other people na there was a time during Spanish colonization na merong tribes who made pacts or agreements with spirits, entities, for additional abilities and skills to help fight off the invasion. There were supposedly 5 or more different groups who agreed to this, and each group or tribe acquired different abilities or skills to combat the invaders. So sa pag-aalala ko, maraming nagsasabi na umbrella term yung word na aswang, di ba? And baka yun nga talaga siya. Umbrella term siya kasi may iba't ibang nilalang na may iba't ibang kakayanan na nakukuha ng mga sinaunang tribo or sinaunang grupo. May ibang nakakapag-shapeshift. May ibang nakakapaghati ng katawan at lumipad. May iba nakakakain ng essence mo habang tulog ka or habang kaharap ka. I don't know, marami pang ibang abilities dyan. So kung sinasabing 5 or more, and sinabi iba-iba yung hiningi nilang abilities, baka padami pang klaseng mix and match. Again, di ko rin alam paano ika-classify yun. Medyo nagkaka-mixed feelings ako kung totoo nga yung theory. Pag inisip mo, yung intention kung bakit nagkaroon ng aswang. Ginawa ito dahil dinidepensahan nila ang lupang sinasalakay ng mga banyaga. At hanggang ngayon, pasan nila yung abilities at pwede mong masabing responsibility na siguraduhin na maipasa yung karunungan sa bloodline nila. Malungkot at yes, medyo weird isipin, pero sa pagkakaintindi ko, yun ang nature nila. 'Di ba? Yes, may iba na tinatakwil nila yung pinapasa, pero yun yung nature nila. May iba hindi nila pinipili, pero naipapasa or naibibigay sa kanila. Malalim pang usapan ito sa Discord. Marami pang kuro-kuro. Pero nakakaaliw ng isipin na kung may katotohanan ang teoryang ito, tali sa kasaysayan ng Pilipinas ang simula ng aswang. Simbolo ng pag-aklas at sakripisyo laban sa opresyon. Ingat mga LLs!